this is a first of its kind as far as India is concerned. We haven't done this in the past, and this is the first of its kind. India Gadget Show, India Gadget Expo, happening in India, and that too in Hyderabad. We obviously welcome and we appreciate the organizers for taking the lead and making it happen. And I'm hopeful the next time, as Rajiv has mentioned, we can really take it to the next level, maybe to the level of a CES in Las Vegas going forward. But definitely we have to aim high. One thing is a fact. Technology, certainly in the last few years especially, has changed our lives. We all know that, there was a day in this country when we had to write to an MP. We had to go request an MP for getting a landline phone connection through the only service provider that we had, that is the BSNL or the VSNL. Now, we live in a world where I think, I may be wrong, subject to correction obviously, where I think we have more number of mobile phones than the number of people we have in this country. So that goes to show you that there has certainly been a revolution in this country, a phenomenal revolution at that, really making communication that much more affordable and that much more accessible to the downtrodden of this country. Really, it's a brilliant proposition as far as this great country of ours is, concerned. It really has changed our lives, and definitely the world at large is looking at India with a lot of interest. The world at large is looking at India with a lot of intent. I've met a lot of global players in the last 15-20 days, and most of them, whoever we have approached, whoever we have asked to come invest in India and be a partner in our growth, especially in Hyderabad, most of them have been receptive, most of them have been very, very positive. So it goes to show you that India is definitely now a global player as far as attracting investments is concerned, as far as going forward in the whole area of information technology and communications is concerned. This India Gadget Expo is an initiative by Hitex, which is a joint venture between the state government and L&T. It aims to be an annual technology platform for the consumer electronics industry to converge and connect. So we obviously welcome it, and as Rajiv had mentioned, it tries to, or it wants to, it is wanting to emulate the big B2B shows such as CES in Las Vegas, the Gadget Show in the UK, and the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. Most certainly, I'm hopeful that it will carve a niche for itself, not just emulate the other shows, but also carve a niche for itself. So apart from being a launch pad for the tech industry, India Gadget Expo should also support and be a platform for startups and tech incubations that Chaudhary Garu just talked about. Just a quick overview of the industry. Indian gadget industry is in constant rise, about 10 to 12% annually, and India's GDP is only at 5 to 6, the growth rate I'm talking about. So mass market gadgets are proliferating the Indian market very, very successfully. Today we have smartphones which are as cheap as about 3 to 5,000 rupees with all features loaded, which is a brilliant proposition as far as really bringing connectivity, really bringing information right to the doorstep of a common man in India. Today, the common man is able to afford luxury gadgets with pride, but 500 plus million Indians now actually own a mobile handset today. Almost every Indian middle class household has a PC or a laptop or a tablet, and so is the broadband penetration. Well, the new generation engages more with digital technology and devices, making digital a very, very accessible word and accessible medium of communication. Well, computer hardware market in India is also growing, and it's growing at 14%, is likely to grow at 14% in 2014. Mobile handset sales are likely to grow by 16% in 2014. Smartphone markets are also growing at 15% in 2014, and smart TV markets are also growing at 87% annually from 2012, and it's likely to grow further as well. So coming to my favorite subject, Hyderabad, which Chaudhary Garu also talked about. The three initiatives or the three issues that Chaudhary Garu mentioned, I would like to respond to them. Firstly, he talked about making Hyderabad the hub for hardware industry of this country. The way we see it, I think Hyderabad has all the makings, all the trappings to make it one of the top destinations of this country as far as software or hardware is concerned. Software, I think Hyderabad is the #2 city in India at this point in time, with exports over 50,000 crores, which I'm very proud to say. In fact, that number is likely to grow up this year. As far as hardware is concerned, we've already approved 2 electronic manufacturing clusters very near to the Hyderabad airport, which is again a world-class airport. So, with these 2 new electronic manufacturing clusters coming up, we have a lot of local interest. We have a lot of local hardware players wanting to come in and establish their units. But we are definitely on the lookout for more and more global players also. In fact, after inaugurating the stall there, I was talking to the gentleman from LG, asking him as to what happened with the previous conversation that was launched or that was initiated a few years back with the previous government. We will, I guarantee you, most certainly going forward, come up with a proper plan. In fact, it's only my 16th day in job today, 16th day after assuming office. So going forward in the next weeks, in the next few weeks to come, I guarantee you that we will come up with a proper hardware policy, which certainly will or should be supported by Government of India as well, in terms of creating and attracting hardware manufacturing facilities to Hyderabad. Most certainly I'll be working with the industry bigwigs such as Mr. Chowdhury and other industry bodies here, but most certainly we'll come out with a proper comprehensive policy, probably the best policy in the country as far as attracting hardware industry to Hyderabad is concerned. I guarantee you that. And the second thing that I'm also working on already is this whole equation of not having enough number of readily employable graduates. In fact, while the proposal is still on a drawing board, I'd like to share with you all that with all the software companies that there are in Hyderabad, in fact, I'm starting out an initiative, forming a consortium of all these software companies, at the same time also forming a consortium of the engineering colleges and the professional colleges out here, and I'm wanting the consortium of software companies to adopt these engineering colleges one by one, so that if they start engaging in a dialogue, in some sort of a skill building exercise, be it soft skills or otherwise, I think eventually by the time they graduate, you'll have a readily employable workforce, which is a win-win for all. It is a win-win for the industry, it's a win-win proposition for the academicians, the colleges, and also for the government. Then we would have a great platform to work on. So therefore, we were already working on that initiative. And the third thing you talked about, breeding more entrepreneurs. I think that's one of my favorite topics. That's been one of my favorite topics over the last few weeks. We are going to come up with India's biggest incubating facility in this very town of ours, Hyderabad, in a very, very short time. By the end of this year, I think we'll have a wonderful incubator in place, and we are going to probably invite the Honorable Prime Minister himself to come and inaugurate this facility, because as you rightly said, incubating facilities not only encourage research and development, but also nurture innovation in software or hardware. So most likely, we're going to come up with this facility in the next 6 months to 8 months, and we'll have the industry bigwigs involved in this as well. At the same time, the TDB that you mentioned, most certainly we've been looking at this as a proposition, but we haven't made up our mind on that yet. But I guarantee you one thing though, the government will certainly support any sort of innovation, any sort of startups who want to come up and actually innovate further with probably a seed money to begin with. Then we can definitely work on the possibility of setting up something in the lines of TDB, most certainly. But right now we are looking at the idea of building infrastructure, supporting the young guys who are coming in, starting up, because unfortunately, as Rajiv said, we are a country which produces great many programmers, but we don't seem to produce many Mark Zuckerbergs or Larry Pages. So that should change, that ought to change. And India as a country has great potential. We all know that. I think we have the biggest youth population across the globe today. Most countries are stagnating while we are growing. So therefore, the possibilities are boundless. But we are committed to one thing, and this government is most certainly committed to the growth of Hyderabad, to ensuring that we enhance the brand image of Hyderabad going forward. Most certainly, I will request all of you all, including my media friends here, to ensure that this event is promoted very, very well, because this is the first of its kind in India. And going forward, this will definitely transform itself into a global event, I'm sure. And with your support, with your blessing, going forward, we'll make Hyderabad a top-notch destination as far as IT is concerned. Thank you very much once again for participating in this. Thank you.